I got up out of my chair and I went to get my wheelchair, but I wasn't really thinking about it. So I just pushed it out of the way. And from then on, I've been walking. In April of 2018, I was at work and got hit in the side of the head with a metal steel bar, sent me eventually into workman's compensation. I suffered a traumatic brain injury, which I was hit on this side of my head, and my brain ricocheted off this side of my head. So much of my brain pain is on the right side of my head. Other complications came from this, such as I've needed a ventilator, which breathes for me, seizures, eventually having trouble to walk. This injury led me to having full-time care at my house. Our oldest daughter that is living with us, she has had to take these small classes to know what to do and care for me. Very early on, they told me I won't be able to drive again. At one point, I was psychotic, and I had to go to a hospital and put in a safe room. I eventually got out after 10 days. We continued to get better through workman's comp in Oklahoma. One of the doctors that was seeing me, my neurologist, he said that here you're not going to get the proper care, so you're probably going to need to move to California at some point and go to UCLA for the best medicine and best doctors. So one day we decided we're moving to California, and 10 days later we were there. They just set me up for all these appointments. So I was bam, 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 just seeing all these different doctors. My wife was into Joe Dispenza. She found out that there was a meditation group that met on Saturdays in Santa Monica Beach. So she started going to that, and I went with her just to get out of the house. And there was one of the restaurants there, you could rent a beach wheelchair. So I would use that beach wheelchair to get to the point where the meditation starts. But I would just sit in the wheelchair. I wouldn't, in fact, I was just listening to my radio. I wasn't listening to meditations. And then just one day I decided, hey, let me listen to the meditations. My wife says, hey, we've been granted a trip to Cancun from the foundation Give to Give, and we go there and we'll listen to Joe Dispenza and learn more about him and his ways and see what he can do for me. I wasn't expecting much. I thought I was going to Cancun and maybe Joe Dispenza's there. So Cancun was like the vacation, but the Joe Dispenza part became the most important part to me. Start off by just learning new ways to meditate, the breathing exercises. Eventually, they said that I was honored as a healee, and I didn't really know what that meant, so I went in the first time. The feeling I got was a lot of energy in the room, just was upon me. That was the first healing. The second healing, pretty much the same thing. And then on the third healing, I just said, I'm not going to hold myself back. I'm going to just open up and let whatever happens, happen. So I laid back. I could hear the healers coming in. Right away, I felt like ants were crawling up the back of my legs, and for some reason my butt went numb. From there, I felt 3 fingers on the top of my head, and it felt like they were pushing into my head. And at that point, I was like, something's going on, so I just continued to let it happen. And then the session ended. I got up out of my chair, and I went to get my wheelchair, but I wasn't really thinking about it, so I just pushed it out of the way, and from then on, I've been walking. My family can see a light that kind of went on in my eyes. Their old dad back is basically what they were saying. This is our first advanced course that we're doing, and I like it because we're not having to go over how to breathe and all this stuff. He's teaching you how to breathe better, and hopefully there's more healing to come. I would definitely recommend looking into it. It may not be your thing, but I didn't think it would be my thing, and it has changed my life completely.